Just pour the hooch on him. Just pour it down my gullet.
Talk about unlikely buddy cops. If the buddy cops are a movie, and the 1973 magnum opus, The Dark Side of the Moon, by popular rock band Pink Floyd. Welcome to Sync Floyd, where we watch every movie ever made to see if it syncs up with Pink Floyd's 1973 magnum opus, The Dark Side of the Moon. My name is Gareth Blackler, and oh no, I've rescued him from the docks. It's James Barron.
Hi, lovable pooch, James Barron here on the mic. What's up, Gareth? I'm here to cause a ruckus and make a mess on the show.
Yes.
Like I always do. I'm running amok this episode. I can't be stopped.
You're running in slow motion right at me. You're going to grab the listeners by the necks.
By the throats. I'm coming for you, listeners, this episode. It's going to get rowdy. Because this week we watched Turner and Hooch. Yet another addition into the Tom Hanks is a weird dude universe.
Yeah.
Yeah, Turner and Hooch, a film I'd never seen before, knew nothing about it, pulled it out of thin air last week.
Oh yeah.
When I thought of it. Yeah. What are your thoughts on the duo, on the buddy cop flick with dog and man?
I mean, we are back where we keep landing, where Pink Floyd, I don't know if we said this in the last when we covered Big, but you know when you take a magazine photo and you just like color in the people's eyes?
Yeah.
So they don't have the shine in their eyes and they just look like scary all of a sudden.
Yeah, definitely.
That's what Pink Floyd do to Tom Hanks.
It is, yeah. They bring out his true nature for all to see. Where he doesn't have any of that Hollywood sheen on him. The Pink Floyd are exposing him for the big old creep he is for some reason. I don't think, he's not actually, but the Floyd just bring it out in him. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know?
I'd hate to go to a Pink Floyd concert with Tom Hanks and just watch his reign of crime begin.
Yeah, you just see the light leave his eyes as soon as you get in the like mosh pit or whatever. Oh my god. Would you mosh to Pink Floyd, actually? I did now come to think of it. Probably not.
Oh, surely. They've got to have some bangers,
They've got some, right?
Something off the wall.
I'd probably mosh to like Money, I think.
Yeah, those solos.
Yeah, that would be alright. But like, mostly it'd be a lot of like swaying, I feel like. You know, you've been to those gigs where it's just like people like standing and swaying back and forth, you know?
Yeah. Some people have their phones out to like, that's the candle.
Yeah.
The fake candle, but yeah.
The fake
Everyone's
candle.
just having a sway.
I love the idea of like having a real candle at a concert or like preparing a candle for a concert. That's great.
Oh, like a scented candle as well, and you've done all the research into the best scent for the band.
Yeah, man. Who was doing this first? Were people bringing like candles to like Mozart performances and like waving them back and forth? That boy can play.
Yeah.
The maestro.
Because that can't have been like just because people had lighters and they started lighting them up, right? It must have been a precursor in some way.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
maestro.
how quickly we got off track. Holy shit. Turner and Hooch, baby. It's about a slobbery old dog and and Tom Hanks, the neat freak, having a bad time. Basically. And trying to solve crimes.
Bad times and solving crimes.
Yeah, man. That's the motto. Should be on the poster.
His bad time he has is so much more intense with Pink Floyd playing as well.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't... Weirdly, the movie does also, like, wipe off some of Hooch's charm as well.
Totally.
Like, this dog's a dick.
Yeah. That makes it much more serious and nightmarish, yeah. And that, like, I think the regular cut of the film has a lot of, like, jaunty, classic, like, 80s happy music.
Yeah, there's a lot of like upbeat jazz and like happy pianos and stuff.
Yeah, like look at this bloody dog. Oh, he's made a bloody mess again of old Tom Hanks's apartment. Oh, what a bloody jest and a jape. But no, it's for us. We get in the smooth tones of the Floyd, and oh man, yeah, it's just a much more much more gravity is added to the situation.
Yeah.
And all of Tom
sorry,
Hanks' reactions just like solidify that.
Yeah, I was just really concerned for Tom Hanks's insurance.
Oh my god.
There's no way he upgraded his contents policy before he took in Hooch. And Hooch literally destroys everything everything he owns.
No way. Oh,
with vindictive cruelty almost.
Yeah. It's brutal.
Yeah. This is I'm sure this is what Pink Floyd were warning us about when they wrote a song about dogs. Warning of us the hooch when he comes.
Yeah, they just knew. They knew about that hooch. I don't know.
You gotta know about that hooch.
Gotta know about that hooch. I've never heard the song Dogs by Pink Floyd or the song about dogs. I don't pay attention to anything that doesn't exist outside this album, okay? I keep it pure and only listen to Dark Side of the Moon. So when you said that, I was like, what? News to me. Hot Floyd news. They got that dog song.
The dog song.
Yeah. Presumably a collaboration with Snoop Doggy Dogg, but
yeah,
hard to know for sure. Shall we talk about this film and how it's synced with our magnum opus, Gareth?
I think we should. I just want to say one more thing.
Okay.
Is where were you when you learned that in July 2021 a Disney Plus reboot of Turner and Hooch is coming?
I was sitting here in my recording studio with you, Gareth, just on the mic when I learned this grand reveal.
I was midway through my Turner and Hooch watch when I tried to check who an actor was, and 2 results for Turner and Hooch came up on IMDb.
Yo, the Hooch is loose on Disney Plus.
Yeah. And do you know who's playing Turner now?
No. Who is it? I hope... Okay, let me guess. Is it...
Yes, please take guesses.
Okay. Number 1 guess, Zac Efron.
Not too far off.
Ooh, okay.
Same era of young child stars wearing layers and cracking wires.
Oh, man, I don't know my child stars well enough. Gosh. Is he like Disney alumni, the person?
Nickelodeon alumni.
Oh, okay, that makes... is it either Keenan or Cal?
I wish. It is Josh from Drake and Josh.
Whoa! Okay, actually, that's pretty great casting, honestly.
Right?
I think that fits really well. I do love the idea of him being, like, put out first by his elder brother, Jake, and then by... or Drake, sorry. And then by this dog who's just Drake in dog form. That's fantastic. Yeah. Amazing.
If Drake Bell, just voices Hooch, just even in a dream sequence, all our dreams will come true.
Oh, you know they're going to do that. Just for the fans. Oh, man, that's incredible. Looking forward to the Hooch reboot. Turner.
July 2021.
Oh my god, that's so soon. Okay.
I know. And that's why I was wondering, like, did you time this right to, like, strike while the Hooch iron was hooching hot?
We are riding that Hooch train straight to podcast relevance. Finally. This is the time.
Yeah.
I've got my finger on the pulse. But that pulse is very narrow. It's hard to find that vein. All right. Turner and Hooch. Let's sync it, baby. Let's do it.
Oh, yes.
Heartbeats, opening titles, all the classic stuff at the top. We get, like, Tom Hanks' intro here as Turner, just showing his day-to-day life. He's, like, near American Psycho levels of introduction here where he's, like, on the Stairmaster sweating it out. He's got, like, supplements arranged in a line. He's, like, super neurotic and super, like, measured in his life, I guess. He likes things a certain way. That's his whole deal as a character. He's very neat and tidy. And, yeah, we see, like, him do a whole bunch of stuff. He spills a thing in his fridge or, like, finds a spill in his fridge and then, like, goes and cleans his whole fridge. And I find this insanely relatable. Like...
Okay.
If I, like, uncover a mess, something like, oh, there's, like, something on the bench, I end up fucking, like, cleaning the whole bench every time. Because it's like, I may as well.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. It like
Yeah.
builds to a point where I'm just like, okay, now's the time. I'm usually like a fairly messy person, but like if I do a clean, it's a big clean. Like
That's good.
Yeah.
That's admirable.
yeah.
I will say, like, cleaning a fridge is the worst.
Oh my
So
God,
the idea
yeah.
that he does it, like, all the time.
Yeah, fuck.
His fridge bill must be wild. The amount of food that must spoil while he's giving it that deep, deep clean.
Yeah, true. He's probably got it down to a
was-
fine art now, though. Like he's in and out cleaning it every like for 10 minutes every night or something.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah. That's a fun fact you can take home from this podcast, is the more often you clean, the easier it is to clean.
Whoa, nice, sweet fact. That's just a
Pink Floyd sweet fact.
yes, nice. That's a soundbite.
I will also say the first bit of character assassination Pink Floyd are doing to the enemy Tom Hanks. I noticed how much plastic Turner is using and just chucking out in his neatness.
Oh my God, yeah, definitely. I mean,
Yeah.
product of the time again here because it's like this film's an 80s film, right? Like, so
Yeah.
it's like House of Money, man. We got money coming out of our ears. Just throw things away. It's America. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fine.
But man,
Yeah.
so many paper towels.
A lot of wastage.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's Turner fulfilling his life. The American
Yeah.
dream. But yeah, he's got like all kinds of shit. He's got like a power buffer for his shoes and shit. I love that. I want one.
Yeah.
And he like even I've written here, he even flosses. Do you floss?
I try so hard to floss. Yeah, I mean the dentist wants you to floss.
Yeah,
don't
they do.
But
I've
again,
flossed.
it's pretty wasteful.
Yeah, I've flossed maybe once in my whole life. I know that might be disgusting to some people, but I'm willing to put that out there. Not a flosser. No way.
Nah.
No. I brush my teeth solidly and I've got one filling ever. So
Okay.
I feel like I
that's
look
awesome.
after my teeth really well, but I never floss. Hell no. Not doing that.
Yeah. Gosh, I brush my teeth at work sometimes, and I once flossed at work, but it was just I felt so disgusting. Like, it shouldn't be the system we've decided is the best thing. It's just to put rope between your teeth
Yeah, no.
and like tug out anything that's in them.
Yeah.
Like, there's got to be a better way
That's
by now.
like wildly unnatural. I feel like that has only come into like fashion around life. It seems like something invented by an advertising agency, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. The old
What we should do is get those water flossers that like just
Whoa.
spray water in between your teeth.
I would
and
love
see how
that.
that experience syncs with Pink Floyd.
Yes. The boys blast water into their face
Yeah.
and the music of the Pink Floyd into their ears. Find
There we
out
go.
next episode. Oh my god. Yeah, so we go from into breathe basically, and he does this thing where he like zaps his face left and right really quickly, and this kind of freaked me out. Like this scene lasts for like really long at the end of the opening like introduction-y bit with the opening credits, etc. And he's just like moving his face back and forth forever, like checking to see if he's got like a stray nose here or something. But God, he looks like a psycho doing this. I was like, what the hell is this guy about? And yeah, having the Floyd on in the background really does not help
Yeah.
his case. But yeah, we see him that he's a cop and he's going into the station and like doing some like filing and admin stuff, which he's really careful about and really good at. And he's training he's a detective rather. And
Yeah.
he's training his replacement, who's also a detective, who's coming to replace him because he's finishing in 3 days. He's literally 3 days from retirement at the start of this movie, which is fantastic. But yeah, and he like as they're like going out to do the rounds and stuff, he's just yelling at random people. And this is the first sign to me that like Tom Hanks's anger is like on a razor's edge. Like he has such bad impulse control in this movie, and it's only exacerbated by Hooch, his presence coming up. But man,
Yeah.
he'll just yell at like anyone. I'd be kind of
At
scared.
one point he just yells, "I'm a cop" as well, which is not rubbing well in this day and age.
No, that does not land well in the year of our Lord 2021, I tell you what. Anyway. But yeah, they go down they're heading off on their rounds, and an old lady has made them muffins because he is notorious in the small town that they're in for being like a lonely single man who lives an unfulfilled life, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got his Stairmaster and his minerals, and that's about it, you know? Yeah. And yeah, his partner out on the beat, or like his little like trainee friend. What's this guy's name? didn't actually look.
David.
David.
He's played by Reginald Val Johnson.
Yeah, love this guy.
Who had just finished, like, his previous role was playing Sergeant Al in Die Hard.
Whoa.
And his next role was playing Sergeant Al in Die Hard 2.
Damn. There you go. Well,
Yeah.
you know.
So solid 3 years where that guy was just police officers.
Fair enough, you know.
Yeah.
He's got that getting those cop gigs, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of shitty to be typecast in that way, but I feel like it worked out okay for him later on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he plays he plays cops in pretty much everything.
Whoa.
He was a cop in Family Matters.
Whoa.
Yeah.
He's got that. He's on the beat, you know.
He was a fire chief in a deleted scene in Avengers Endgame.
Wow.
So there you go.
Exotic. There you go.
Yeah.
Branching out.
Really stretched. Yeah.
Reggie, you got range. Any of the emergency services you could work for. Amazing.
Yeah. Oh.
But yeah, he's like razzing old Turner here in the car, being like, you're so alone. Are you having the sex? LOL. And he's like, nah, yeah, I'm having all the sex. Hilarious. Just classic cop bants, you know.
Yeah, I don't know if we're allowed to use you quoting the script exactly.
Oh,
I don't know
sorry.
if that's a copyright issue.
Yeah, well, you know.
Ah.
This is Turner and Hooch as performed by James Barron.
In your one-man show, Baron is Turner and Baron is Hooch.
Wow. Yeah. I mean,
I would watch that.
Yeah, but no one else would. Yeah. Yeah, so they go down the docks, and they're trying to solve the case of the missing dinghy. Whoa. And then he goes and visits this guy called Amos, this old man who lives out here on the docks. Amos, his whole situation out here, he's like in this like junk zone in the docks, and he lives in this little shack house with his dog Hooch, and that's his whole deal.
Yeah.
It's very strange, but he comes and gets visited by Turner, who presumably like comes out here all the time because like he's notoriously like breaking the law or doing something wrong or whatever, and they've just become friends, I think, by like these amounts of visits. And here he's like he's sneaking in through the fence as we get the crash sound and On the Run. Nothing really is sinking here, but he's trying to sneak in to go and talk to Amos, and all the clocks go off as well as he's walking around all this junk very like stealthily, and we don't know why at this point. And he's holding this muffin out in his hands, and then we get our like hero's reveal of Hooch, who like just appears and like runs in slow motion. He's bloody gunning down this muffin, you know, over clocks rolling in. Yeah,
so mad it wasn't a perfect clocks to Hooch like sync.
Yeah, it was disappointing for me too, because it was like, it was fairly close, but like not really even. I wouldn't call this a near sync. We were like pretty far off. But
yeah, for sure.
But we get Hooch here running down, and like there's a call out to 2001 in this movie where he like tosses the muffin up into the air, like the caveman throwing the bone up into the air, like discovering tools. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure the music is the same as well underneath the.
Yeah, we aren't hearing it, but like I'm pretty sure that it's shot exactly the same anyway. So I'm assuming. And yeah, he like bites down on Turner's neck. Hooch just comes in and is like ripping at his neck. It's like, Jesus. Like, because I don't have any like sound context here, pretty terrifying.
Yeah.
Having a dog like run you down, you're holding a muffin out for it, doesn't give a fuck about that, and just bites at your neck. Jesus. I'd be horrified. This is a horror story for young James, who notoriously scared of dogs at that age. I'm okay with dogs now, but damn. Scary.
Yeah. And Hooch's, they've chosen an interesting breed of dog to play Hooch. He's, it has an amazing French name, but it's essentially like a mastiff kind of dog, a big old bulldog kind of look.
Yeah.
Like Fang from Harry Potter.
Very much so, yes. He's got big jowly cheeks, and he drools a lot because of this, because dog breeds are fucked up, and that's how it is. And but he's a huge like horse of a dog. And he's like matted fur, and he's all gross because he lives here on the docks with an old man who doesn't like give a shit and feeds him, as we find out. The old man comes out and pulls Hooch off, and says like, "Oh, he likes you. He didn't even break the skin on you when he bit your neck." It's like, fuck. And he's feeding Hooch like beer cans, like pours a little bit of beer into the dog's bowl, which I was like, what the fuck is going on with this old man and this dog? It's such a weird situation. It's like, I feel like this is animal cruelty, maybe.
Yeah, he's feeding him cookies as well, which is like really bad for dogs because of the chocolate. Yeah.
Poor old Hooch.
Maybe there's some sort of backstory. Maybe Hooch used to be his friend and ran afoul of a witch or something.
Yeah, could well be.
Yeah.
His friend.
If they don't say the dog didn't run afoul of a witch in any movie, you can assume.
You can always assume.
Ran afoul of a witch.
Yeah. The giveaway usually is if the dog talks. Then you're like, witch. That's a witch. But not in this situation, so it's hard to say. But the old man's here, and he's saying there's something shady going on at the old seafood plant factory that's nearby. He's hearing loud noises in the night, and Hooch is getting all upset and barking at it, and it's like, yeah, it's a factory. There's probably sounds there like all the time. You live on the docks, dude. You're gonna hear stuff. He sees that his replacement isn't going to come and visit. This old man Amos, once Turner retires or like moves. I think he's just moving states, right? Or he's moving jurisdictions.
This is how small a town he's in. Is that he's moving up to the big city, but this big city is Sacramento.
Wow. Yeah.
Which is like famously like the most kind of tame part of California.
Yeah, it's not a huge zone. Well, it's fairly huge, right? Like it's a whole sector, but he's a small town cop moving to a bigger pond, you know.
Yeah.
So he's like worried about old Amos in that way. He's moving away to the big city, and as he turns to go, I just want to point this shot out because we get a shot of Amos like smiling and waving, but in the background there's a seagull that flies from like center frame down to the bottom of frame really fucking fast, and I was like, holy shit, like it's like such a weird moment captured on film, but it like dive bombs. I loved it.
That's such a good spot. Oh my gosh.
But it's just like a small little throwaway thing that I thoroughly enjoyed in this film.
The camera person must have been like, yes, we got a bird.
Fuck yeah. This old salty sea dog out here. We've got a seagull diving on in. So good. He goes and revisits his partner on the other side of the fence who's like laughing at him. And they get an actual call on the radio about like a real thing that they've got to actually go do some cop work for once, and they're like, oh shit. And so they go down to the beach, and there's the calls about this kid has found a wad of cash in like a plastic bag, like glad bag thing, and he's like, what the hell? That's so weird. It's floating in the ocean. And so they turn it into the police. And it's like, you can have it after 30 days. And this little snot-nosed kid is like, I'll keep it all. I'll keep the money that I found and not give my sister any. I'm like, this is like a Willy Wonka kid that's just found his way into this film. I love him.
Yeah.
And yeah, from here, that's just like left as a mystery for the moment. And we go down to the factory, cut to the factory at night, and there's huge ass blocks of ice being hauled around, which presumably would be used for like packing all these fish and stuff. So it's kind of in context that these big blocks on little like rollers and stuff. And there's a guy here. We don't know any of these characters at this point, but there's like a guy being called into like an office of the factory. We don't really see any shady shit going on at the moment. But this guy, like, just suddenly, he's acting real shifty, and then he, like, bolts away. And they send a couple of guys to chase after him, and there's a big chase sequence on the docks. And they fucking knife him in the leg. They throw a knife at him. And this happens, like, right over the end of time. So, like, we've just had that trail out. We get into Great Gig as this guy is, like, lying down, like, stabbed in his leg, trying to get away with this money bag. He had like one of the bags of money that we saw was recovered earlier, so they're part of this some kind of crime to do with that. Because we're getting that money in the fishing industry, eh? where these wads of cash coming from, boys? I don't know. But yeah, they're down here, and we see Amos's light come on. And here we presumably hear dog barking. I don't think I had subtitles for this, but I'd like Hooch is hearing these sounds of the scuffle of the men, etc. And they go down, and he gets sent. They send this like Knifey McGee guy down to investigate what is going on at Amos's part of the docks, his junkyard house, and Amos is like, don't like what you boys are up to. And then the guy is saying like, you didn't hear anything, did you? And he's like, I don't want to deal with you at all. And then he offers him like part of some money to like keep his silence. And Amos is like, nah, fuck you and your crime money. I don't want any of that, your dirty money. And he turns to go away. And the knife guy runs up and stabs Amos in the back with his knife power, and as soon as this happens, Hooch like springs into action. Power dog like jumps straight through a glass window. Boss.
And like no run up or anything. No, he just goes for it.
Just straight through, like showing the strength of this animal. And then like runs, like chases this guy down who's like murdered his master, and like chases him up to this chain link fence, which like he manages to get over, and Hooch can't get to him. He's like trapped there, pacing back and forth and barking. But it's a real bummer. And as we get into the like quiet, sad part of Great Gig, the like breakdowny bit. He goes on back to his dead master Amos and just howls at the moon, Gareth. Oh, it's so tragic. He's singing, it's like he's singing Great Gig to me in this moment. He's crooning at the moonin'.
Hooch listens to Pink Floyd, no doubt.
Oh,
yeah.
Hooch is just drinking beer and down at the docks and listening to the Floyd. Loves playing records, as we'll find out later. But love him. So Turner obviously gets the call the following morning. We see him waking up and he races to the scene because it's a small town. Everyone knows everyone. And they've never done a murder investigation before because it's a very small town. This kind of thing doesn't happen. Very Fargo feeling, actually.
Fargo.
Yeah, and I've written in my notes, this time it's personal, simply because he knows Amos. But yeah, we get a shot of Hooch barking from his little window, very upset, the broken window. And so they're doing the classic police stuff, taking loads of photos, and these dicks from the sheriff's department come in. These guys have walked straight out of Point Break and just roll in and complete dicks. They're like, "We'll take it here from here, boys." And they don't, like, they get warded off by the police chief. What's his name? H something.
Coach Taylor.
What?
Craig T. Nelson.
Yeah. That's the actor. I want to say it's Harvey. Is it Chief Harvey? Howard. Chief Howard.
Yeah, Mr. Incredible.
Yeah. Is he actually? Yo.
Yeah, Craig T. Nelson was Mr. Incredible, right?
Amazing. I didn't realize that because obviously I wasn't hearing his voice. So.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, that is great. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So they're doing all the stuff, trying to get relieved. He wards them off so that they don't turn it over to the guys. So that's like his introduction, the police chief's introduction as a character, basically. But he's here on the scene as well. These animal control people come in to try and deal with Hooch. They've got like these big poles with like metal like nooses, I guess, on the end, like
pretty much
slipknot kind of things to like try and control him. And they get him on these poles, but they're like trying to like struggle and pull him along. And Hooch, with his powerful strength, just knocks one of them into the drink. And I love this, that the lady, the female animal control lady, is just like, she's like, "This dog's nuts." Like, your animal control. Like, surely this is your job. I guess, again, small town, but like, come on. She's just like very unprofessional and just bails, leaving this dog with Turner because he knows the dog. Like, I don't know.
This
seems wrong.
Like, shout out to Real Animal Control who don't do that. Real Animal Control.
Yeah,
I actually ran into essentially Hooch from Turner and Hooch a couple weeks ago. I was walking home. This big, like, massive dog came up, and he was all like wanting to be my best friend, and then suddenly sprinted off across like a very busy road, and I was like freaking out for him. Knocked on a few doors. No one knew this local Hooch. God, I regret the phrase local Hooch. Don't know why that sounds dirty. Anyway,
it sounds wrong, doesn't it?
Yeah, so I called Animal Control and they did like a lap or two of the neighborhood. Didn't see it. Taught me what a mastiff was because I just said a big grey fang from Harry Potter. And
there you go.
Yeah, they said they'll let me know if they ever found this local Hooch, the Auckland Hooch. And then just this very weekend, while I was, prepping to watch some Turner and Hooch, I saw the local Hooch being walked by his owner.
Oh.
And it was a true happy ending.
That's a relief. That's a great story. I actually also have, like, wildly, a very recent big dog story that happened to me.
Whoa.
I was ready to catch the old public transportation, the bus, on my way home from work. And I'm waiting at the bus stop, and I see ahead of me along the footpath just a greyhound just bolting, like running straight towards me. And
they're so fast.
I know. And its owner, like, sprinting right after it, like a lady who was just, like, running full trying to catch the dog. And she indicates to me, she, like, mimes with her hands, like, stop this dog. Like, stop it running. And I'm standing here, like, in front of the dog, and I'm like, okay. I like go like as if I'm a goalie in soccer. I like pose with my arms outstretched, trying to block the full footpath of this greyhound, right? I'm like, okay, you will not pass me, greyhound. And the greyhound like looks at me and like sort of weaves left and right. And before it's like with like about 10 feet away from me, it's like, okay, I'm not getting past this powerful defense of this huge person, intimidating figure, and it runs onto the road, and I'm oh fuck. It's a very, very busy road, like 3 lanes each side. And the owner is like screaming, like, I'm really upset because I failed in my duty as the dog blocker. And so this dog is just running down the road among cars. And like, I'm like, oh shit, I completely failed. She runs past me, like chasing this dog down. And I'm like, fuck. And then the bus arrives. And I'm like, well, like, I get on the, I'm like, should I get on the bus? Like, I could help like chase this dog down, but I've already failed once. And so I just get on the bus and I sail past later on, like just a bit down the road, like only probably about like 50 meters down the road from where this happened. She is off to the side with the dog, holding its collar and like telling it off, like finger waving at the dog, like, don't do that again, you naughty boy. So that had a happy ending as well. Dog perfectly safe, but very scary. I was very worried for this greyhound, but it turned out okay. Oh
my goodness.
There you go.
When you were saying you shall not pass to the dog, did you then go, Gandalf the greyhound?
I didn't know. I didn't think of that in the moment, but that is the name of that story officially.
When you submit it to the New Yorker, that's the title.
Yes, the award-winning Pulitzer Prize-winning story that I have there. There you go.
From the playwright of Baron is Turner and Baron is Hooch.
There we go. We each had some shaggy dog stories there to share. So, isn't that lovely? But yeah, so Turner is now left with this dog, and he's like, he still has the like pole noose thing, and is trying to like corral Hooch into the police car with it. And it's a comedy of errors here. Can't really control him, and ends up with Turner diving through the window of the police car, and with Hooch on the outside. And then it cut to them driving down the street with with Hooch just running alongside, like much like the greyhound on the road, like just happily jogging away, not at all worried. But yeah, people are like stopping and staring and stuff, and they drive all the way to a veterinarian clinic, but Hooch is again like not cooperating, doesn't want to go into the vets, and then there's this sexy female dog like from a cartoon, and he like chases after it and goes in there. It's very silly. And
so silly.
Runs up through this like dog door up some stairs and slams Turner into the door multiple times, who is holding onto this like noose thing, the pole thing. And like he crawls through the dog flap, and the vet's like completely freaking out in a flap as well. And Turner's just like yelling abuse at Hooch, saying like, she's like asking him, how long has this dog been like bleeding? And he's like, I'll make him bleed more. Like, he's saying, I'll fucking shoot you, Hooch. It's like, Jesus, you're a police officer. Like, calm the fuck down, dude. The insane thing about this isn't the only time he threatens to shoot Hooch with a gun in this film.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And it gets way more intense. Like, and again, I'm sure with jaunty jazz music playing, you're like, nah, you can shoot Hooch, it'll be wacky.
But we're getting us and them. Yeah, man.
The most serious song on this album.
Definitely. Oh my god, yeah. He has a hair trigger on his anger. Like, it's just all over immediately. Terrifying. And this is the first impression that he makes on this vet as well, but that'll become relevant later. And like basically the vet starts taking care of Hooch and like cleaning him up a bit, and sasses Turner on his lack of dog knowledge, and like they find out that they know each other because they like go to the same bank because it's such a small town and whatever. Their interactions are actually really weird. I feel
oh my gosh.
I feel like they don't really have chemistry, or if they do, it's like very awkward the whole time. But I don't know. I didn't buy them as a couple like they become a couple over the course of the movie. Spoilers, but like, I didn't buy it. I was like,
yeah,
didn't work for me.
I don't want to date someone just because they're part of ANZ Bank.
Right? We have the same pen. Yeah, no.
Looking at their wallet like, blue EFOS card. I know what that means.
Now that's a check mark. The old pros column. God damn.
It'll make it like so. It would make it if they did online transactions. It goes through immediately instead of taking.
That is true. There you go.
So
you don't need to change banks.
Yeah.
That is the kind of thing that would attract Turner to someone. So that's actually kind of unsurprising. Yeah. But yeah, they talk about how Hooch is basically now like the prime witness of a crime, because he's like the last person to see Amos alive, and so he's asking questions, being like, could he recognize like a person in a lineup and stuff like that? And she says that Hooch could recognize a person through smell or sight, but not through like a photograph, because they don't see in 2 dimensions. They can't like watch TV and stuff, which is a fact I didn't know about dogs. So there you go. Taught me something.
I have heard that cats can see in 2 dimensions, but as they get older, they get smart enough to not bother.
Fair. That's just wisdom. Get away from the screens.
Cats are out of the theatre.
Yeah, there they are. They're seeing real performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're seeing Avatar too, though, of course.
They're at the Heaviside lair, just like having a grand old time. Oh my god.
Praying for that audience interaction.
Oh god. I can't stand it. Oh, the worst. Yeah. He's like, they're having more chats and stuff as he's walking out, and he's like, oh boy, you sure know a lot about animals. And she's like, yeah, I'm a fucking vet. Of course I do, you weirdo. Like, you saw me take care of your dog. Where have you been? But anyway, for whatever reason, there's like a spark here. Like, she asks him if he's married, and he's like, no. But she's just asking him if he's gonna be a good owner for Hooch, because he's like a single dude with a big place, and that's perfect for a big old dog. So yeah, just a couple of big dogs in their apartment. But yeah,
be a big dog to live here.
Oh god, yikes! It's like strong man cave energy, which is the worst.
I want to get an etching that says, you don't have to be a big dog to live here, but it helps.
Oh god,
I don't even know what that means.
Is it etched into a Spates bottle? Like, damn. So it brings him back to his house, and Hooch is like kept outside, and is constantly barking, trying to keeping Turner awake, who's growing more and more frustrated, and like goes outside and yells at him in his underwear. Funniest thing about this, it's 10 p.m. and Turner's going to bed, like getting real upset at this dog. I guess because it's just breaking his routine.
Yeah, I did notice he's getting up at 6 a.m, so 10 p.m. is perfect for him to get his 8 hours.
Well, there you go. That's classic Turner right there. It's like 10:05 though, or something on the clock. Oh. So like, calm down, dude. Again, the razor's edge that he's on. He's like yelling at the dog, asking him like what he should do. He's like, what do you want me to do, you animal? And that the neighbor yells at him to give the dog a Valium, which is like, oh my god. For me, it was like a voice from heaven coming in. Like, just someone off screen is yelling this, so it's pretty good. But
this whole town, Hooch and Colette, the other dog, must be the only two dogs in town, because no one seems to understand how to feed a dog.
Yeah. Basically just the store owner that we'll get to knows understands animals, and of course the vet. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, weird. So they go. He
Mm.
decides to bring Hooch inside because he won't shut up, and so he will be quiet if he comes inside. And they go through the rules of the house. They he's listing all these different things that Hooch isn't and is allowed to do, and keeps ending it with this is not your room, this is not your room, and then takes him to a little place in the back and said this is your room. And then we just cut to the next day, and Hooch is going into work, and he's brought Hooch with him, who's just chilling, lying down on the back of the car, the back car seat. I don't know, maybe tired himself out. But he just takes it upon himself and starts chewing up the upholstery of the seat. Classic bad dog shit here.
Oh yeah, this is that bad dog shit.
Yeah, man, that's that bad dog shit. You're just tearing it apart. Down with the establishment, etc. Hates cops. No one hates cops more than Hooch.
Yeah.
So Turner goes in and they're discussing the case, and they've got the autopsy report back from the coroner. He determines from this that Amos's killer had special combat training based on the exact location where he cut the guy, where he stabbed him. It's stabbed him through his lung and severed a specific artery so that he wouldn't yell out or scream when he died. So
yeah,
pretty wild.
Yeah.
Again, more psycho shit from our boy Turner here, but I guess this is part of his job, as he says. It's his job to know this stuff. But again, it's still a little American Psycho.
Yeah. He's yes, my favorite way to stab.
Yeah, right. All this investigation stuff as well is costing the police force a fuckload. This is a small town police station, and so the chief comes in to say you're all your photos and all this analysis is costing this place so much money. Chill out, maybe, Turner. So he goes back out to his car and discovers that Hooch has eaten up the car. But he's what do I care? It's not going to be my car in 2 days. So just leaves it. What a dick. We go into brain damage now, and it's the following night, and there's more issues happening at the house. We get the line, the lunatic is on the grass, as Hooch is just bashing his head over and over against the door, trying to break free of this little room that he's trapped in. And he busts straight through The Shining style.
Exactly.
Here's Johnny, except it's here's Hooch. And yeah, it just starts making a bloody mess, eating all the food. And meanwhile, Turner is out at the shops with this very kindly store clerk guy who's explaining how to take care of a dog in excruciating detail. It's amazing. And it's quite a long sequence because they have a lot of shots of Hooch just wrecking this apartment, which would have
it goes from Hooch kind of just being a dog, dogs make mischief, dogs are curious, they're stronger than they realize. Hooch gets vindictive. Hooch is essentially getting out pliers to dismantle some speakers at one point. He's trying on all the clothes.
Yeah. It's full mouse hunt mouse levels. These guys are definitely in league with each other in terms of mischief making. They're getting amongst and delving deep into the psyches of those they're trying to destroy,
Yes.
Yeah. It's calculated.
Yeah, Hooch wouldn't do this to someone else. Hooch would find their weakness instead.
Exactly, yeah.
You're scared of the dark? Hooch is eating your lights.
Yeah. He's cracked all the bulbs with his powerful jaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just out there. He's a scary dog, and he knows how to get to you, all right?
Yeah.
Look out. We get... So, very climactic here. I'm very happy about this sync in particular. Turner returns home over, right on Eclipse as soon as that starts. And he's just walking around his house, seeing all the damage as the chorus lines are just coming in. It's great. Him just, in complete shock over his fucked up situation. He's trying to like clean like small sections with a little like spray and wipe bottle and stuff. Completely fruitless. I'm terrified though in this instance because he's wandering around in the like wreckage of his place and he finds some like scissors and picks them up by the hilt. Like he picks them up like blades pointing downwards.
Yeah.
Terrifying. Like the implication by this particular scissor pickup is awful. Thankfully,
no one's picking up those scissors for like arts and crafts.
No, you don't pick up scissors that way. Like,
no,
it is the safe way to like carry scissors around your house, which is something that I think that Turner would know. But he would grab them by the blade as if he was going to pass them to someone. But like, come on, it's like murder weapon style. Pick up the scissors. It's no good, no bueno.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thankfully, the very next shot, he's no longer holding scissors at all. It's a continuity error that I'm so thankful for.
It's divine intervention.
It really is, because like I saw that and I was like, "Whoa, that's dark," and then like the movie was like, "Oh yeah, whoops," and then immediately corrected it. But yeah, loved that. But yeah, he's just like wandering around, like sadly looking at his house over the heartbeats. And over complete silence for us, there's a ball that Hooch was playing with, and he kicks it through his own window, like making more damage. Again, very Mouse Hunt.
Yeah.
So as the album's coming back in and we're getting the heartbeats again, we've got Hooch. He discovers Hooch just sitting on his bed, smug as hell, like happy with his destruction in the wake, but behind him. And yeah, they're like fighting and bashing each other with a pillow over like basically silence and like car noises. And that's really weird. This is where he's so angry with Hooch. He's like, I'm gonna get my gun. I'm gonna shoot you, Hooch. Like, this is legitimate. Like, this is him saying that he's going to shoot a dog.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
And you can tell... Because then he starts, like, kind of riffing about it. He starts, like, naming other names for guns. Like, I'm going to get my piece. I'm going to get my da-da-da. You can tell they had to ADR that in after, like, test audiences were like, this man's going to shoot a dog.
Yeah, definitely. It's
they
fucked
had to lighten it in some regard.
I just want, like, the clean audio of this man, of Tom Hanks, saying that he's going to get his piece and shoot you and kill you, and just splice it into like any of his rom-coms.
Yeah.
Like, it's so scary. It's fucked up. If you isolate this audio, what the hell? This man should never work again. Anyway. But yeah, he's like basically getting ready to murder him, and then Hooch like jumps out. He does his move, his classic Kool-Aid man jumps straight through the window, like to escape, runs away, runs for freedom because he's gonna get killed. And it's like, what the fuck? Leave him alone. It's just a naughty dog. You don't need to murder him. Yeah.
You know what you do with naughty dogs? You let them make the Crash Bandicoot video games.
That is right, yes. The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what Hooch wants to do, and you're leaving him stuck in your crummy house.
He's just a struggling game dev that's suffering from crunch, and he
wants to make Jak and Daxter.
All right, listen. Yeah. Let him do his art. Turner, fuck. Oh my god. But yeah, so Turner's like repairing his house and hears Hooch at the door, like bashing at the door, wanting to come back in. He's like, that dog's bold. I threatened to murder him in the previous scene. And yeah, Overbreathe is at the door, and he's got his girlfriend dog from earlier is also here from the vets, so that's funny. And so he's like, oh god, all right, I have to return this other dog now. And yeah, so he goes to old the vet's house, Dr. Carson, I believe. Dr. Emily Carson.
Yeah, Dr. Emily.
Dr. Emily is here. And he's delivering their dog, and he's trying to like convince Hooch to follow it inside so that he no longer has to deal with Hooch. Just dropping it on this person that he knows, and she knows him. Like, this is a bad plan. But anyway, so she's like dealing with some other stuff in her life. This sequence is very weird. She's like painting in her house and has somehow blown a fuse. So she's got some kind of like some issues that he can sort of tangentially help with. He goes in and just tells her whether or not she's fixed the fuse by whether or not the lights are on. He doesn't like offer to fix the fuse or anything, but like
no.
Yeah, because that would be too dashing, too heroic for our man. So he just like tells her whether they're working or not, and then they start to paint the house together weirdly again, and they sort of like hang out and get to know each other a bit while they're painting this entire veterinary clinic pink. Weird, but all right.
There is one nice sync. There is one nice sync when she says she was going to quit painting the house, and Pink Floyd say, "When at last the work is done." Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, nice. That's a nice wee sync. Hell yeah. So they're just like getting to know each other and all that. He's talking about how he's like an absolute waste of time with women. He can't deal with it at all. Like, can't do the bar scene or anything like that. Yeah, no. And she's talking about how she wants 5 kids and the whole dream, etc. And he's like not ready for that, etc. You know, all the classic love story tropes, unlikely pairings, etc. I don't care about any of that. I want to talk more about Hooch, baby. I bought a ticket to see Hooch. Yeah, fuck this Turner guy. Whatever. Give me more of that Hooch. I'm happy to have half a ticket if it just means I get the Hooch half. Yeah, man. I'm drunk on Hooch and I only want more. For us, this like scene of them chatting takes place over on the run, which makes it like all the more weird as well. Just having the like stress out like levels of them trying to get to know each other amplified by this nightmare chugging music. So they've completely painted the house pink, and the dogs are like chilling and hanging out, having a good time. And they share a pint of beer each. A lot of beer in this film. It's weird. She comments that Turner has no spot of paint on him at all because he's so meticulous and careful, etc. Like, that's what his whole deal is. And they're getting to like each other. They're very close to each other, and like as he's going to leave, he's saying, "Oh no, I'm starting to like you, and then we're gonna fall in love, and then you'll end up hating me because I'm a nightmare person and all this stuff. But in spite of that, do you want to go out tomorrow night?" Like, it's a weird way to ask someone out, but she's charmed by it, and anyway, it's in character for Turner because he's like so weird. So they set a date, and that's all good. We get the crash sound here, syncing with not really much other than like Turner knocking some wood together, covering up the "Here's Johnny" hole that Hooch made earlier. And we get like a very weird sequence after this. We see a vision of Hooch just running at camera in slow motion. Like, is this a dream? Like, I don't know why this is in the film, but it's. I think it must be. It's a memory of the first encounter with Hooch, when he first saw Hooch 2 days prior. Right. You know how you dream about the dog you saw 2 days prior? Yeah. It's so. Even though he would have way more interesting Hooch-related memories by now. It's like, he remembers this moment. This one time when I met Hooch, just running me down. It does play well with us because we've got the ticking clocks coming in. And watching something with ticking clocks and in slow motion is a good feeling. I'm happy about that. Yeah. And here, all the clocks go off and we see Turner waking up. Yes. Perfect, right? Happy. That all the alarms are going off and Turner is waking up. We've done it.
We've solved it. This is
I started writing a different note. I started writing the replay of Hooch's slow motion just misses and it crossed it out because Tom Hanks wakes up to the clocks.
Finally. This is we're not since Groundhog Day have we had such a grand time. Truly happy with that. That makes up for basically nothing on the first play. We've got it here in the second play. So there you go. We're boosting the numbers that way. Turns over and sees that Hooch is, of course, lying in his bed with him. He's escaped his little makeshift stoppage. And he decides that because he's like, I guess, like sneezing because he's covered in like dog fluff from Hooch being all over him all the time, they decide to have a bath. He's trying to bathe Hooch and like wrestle him into a bath. It's a very weird scene of Tom Hanks, the actor, wrestling a large dog into a bath.
Right.
That's a thing that's been filmed.
And there's like little undies as well.
Yeah, like nearly nude Tom Hanks. He's like, I could bet that like Tom was like, yeah, I'm down to do that. Yeah, I'm down to wrestle this real dog.
I'll do it naked too. And they had to like airbrush on underwear in post.
Yeah, definitely. That's how he did it in the audition. They were like, this guy, like, we can't not cast him after he did that.
He brought his own dog for it.
Yeah, it's wild. I don't think he even knows that dog. I think he just wrestled it into the studio while we were doing these auditions. Was that even an audition? I don't know.
Yeah.
Does he know that we're doing Turner and Hooch?
Is he the guy from Big? What's going on here?
that big guy? You know, the little big guy? The big guy? I don't know. Amazing. But yeah, eventually the bath thing doesn't work, and so he uses like a hose scrubber thing that he has, like a cleaning pool kind of implement that he shouldn't have, but he has. So yeah, it manages to wash Hooch, and he's looking way cleaner and way happier finally. And we get like the staying home to watch the rain line, which this isn't really a sync, but it syncs with them all shaking water off themselves. Similar to Rain, maybe. Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe Pink Floyd would walk past and see the water and be like, oh yeah, that's rain.
That's rain. That's rain off a dog's back. The dog
Bro,
rain.
Isn't everything rain off a dog's back?
Yeah, man. That's so true. That's so right. That's just a saying. Yeah. So they go back to the station, the crew, and because he's worried about the car getting even more destroyed, he brings Hooch into the station with him and like drops a lead under the leg of the desk so that he can't run off. And Turner's like strung out. People are commenting on it because he's forgotten to wear a tie to work for the first time, which I like. Is that like that's the giveaway detail? It's pretty good. And Hooch is like staring out the window at this wedding that is happening across the street at a church, and he recognizes the photographer out there as Stabby McGee from earlier, down at the docks, and so like just uses his power dog strength again and just like pulls this desk along the floor with Turner in tow, like on top of it, to look out the window at this guy. And Turner sees that he's looking at this guy trying to chase after him, like breaks free and is running, like runs out the front of the station chasing down this photographer guy. I'd love that the photographer sees Hooch through the window and is like, oh shit, I've been rumbled.
Yeah.
Like imagine from his perspective. He's like at a wedding of his friend, like taking photos of people. And then he looks up out of the corner of his eye and he hears something. He hears a dog barking. He looks up, he sees that angry dog from earlier and he's like, oh fuck, I've been rumbled. Like
it's the exact same dog from 2-3 nights ago.
It's that dog. Yeah. Oh, so funny. I just love that. I wish we got like a shot of his perspective of just like a really small dog's face across the street. It'd be very good. But yeah, so Turner and his partner, his trainee guy, whatever, they race out to find Hooch in the crowd, who's like running around the wedding party trying to find this photographer guy. and then like is chasing him down the street again, like the Greyhound, and it like is the guy Stabby McGee guy goes in, dives into his car, and Hooch is at the window, like pouring his way in. We've seen this dog jumps through glass windows before, but I guess car windows are made of stronger stuff. The Cadillac.
Yeah, smaller surface area, maybe?
Maybe. I don't know. He can't get through anyway with his little dog paws, and he's trying to get through. And so they like, he is driving away in his Cadillac, and they commandeer Turner and the partner guy commandeer some guy's car. His little
Ernie's car.
Bernie, I love this guy. Ernie, right? Or,
Ernie, right?
Ernie.
Who's to say?
Ernie, right?
Yeah.
Ernie, right?
Was it Bernie?
Was it Ernie or Bernie? I'm gonna alternate. So they get in.
That's the only way.
Yeah, they get into Ernie's car and chase after the guy. And it's like he's like sitting in his lap basically, or like they knock him into the back seat, and then they pick up a dog and put him in. So they've got Hooch in the back, Turner in the front. We got Bernie in the back seat as well, and friend. What's his goddamn name? I'm struggling.
David.
Partner David is here. And they're chasing this guy down, trying to identify the perpetrator, or read his plates, but Turner doesn't have his glasses because of the whole thing where he got pulled off his desk by the dog. So he just can't see anything as he's driving, and they lose the guy. So it's like, shit. Damn. They managed to like get his plate just before they get away. So they have a lead on this guy. We get the police chief comes down and like chews them out for like disrupting this wedding of a friend of his.
Yeah.
And he's like, I had to like calm the wife down, etc. Because he was out there because he's like a friend of the family and stuff. Interesting to note. And he's got so they are investigating the guy that they were chasing after. The car was registered to this like ex-Marine guy who has all these like incredibly shady things next to his name that he was suspected for, but was never convicted of. Like 3 very serious misdemeanors.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
Something involving an assault rifle.
Yeah, like, come on. This guy, really? Like, I don't know. Anyway, he was the photographer at the wedding, so that's all good. But anyway, they're discussing the case more. There's still no motive, really, that they can pin on this guy, but they've linked him. He is ex-employee of the seafood plant down at the docks where Amos was killed. So it's like, oh, okay, so there's a link there. They just don't know why he was there or what's going on. Turner suspects that it's like a drug ring kind of thing. And they don't really have the manpower at the police station to deal with that, so they're going to call in a bunch of people from other stations, etc. And yeah, Turner's like real stoked and is real proud of Hooch for his good police work that he did. And so he feeds him like some meat and some beer. And yeah, he's very proud of him for IDing Stabby McGee, who I've written in my notes as Zach Gregory, but I'm never going to say that.
No. I think you've just misspelled Stabby McGee.
I think so, yeah. Bloody autocorrect added again in my notes. But Hooch is refusing to eat this hero's dinner because he misses his dad, Amos, his old man friend. And we're at the like tail end of Great Gig as he's like stoically not eating this food. And yeah, this is like the start of them bonding as we get into money. Like, it gives him a wee scratch behind the ears, and he's like, dogs like that? Weird. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the thing I've learned.
Other creatures like affection?
Yeah, right? And yeah, it's just like a sort of montage of him hanging out with his dog for a bit. Like, Tom Hanks acting really weird in this scene. Like, just really committing to the bit. And yeah, they're like playing with a like towel around the room, etc. Anyway, yeah.
To be fair, my dad does this with his dog.
Oh, well, that's
Takes
nice.
the towel in his mouth and just shakes it.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. It shows he really is like really starting to care about him. Yeah. Cut to the next day, and they're like investigation at the fishing plant. Everyone's looking around for all the stuff. looking at all the fish, but there's no record of the guy working there, of Stabby McGee working there, so that's a dead lead, and they can't find anything. It's just fish and ice, and that's it. Like, it's not great. And the police chief is like, well, it doesn't always work out, I guess, Turner, but anyway, doesn't matter. This is your partner's case now. It's so you're off the job. See ya. Enjoy your new job in Sacramento.
Yeah.
And yeah, we do like a crash zoom onto Turner's like face as he's been relieved of duty, basically, as we get the money solo hitting in. Like, yeah, that's good. And yeah, he's like trying to suss out the case, like do more police work on his own, just on the phone, like from his house. But he's not being taken seriously because he's off the case. And he goes for a walk with Dr. Emily on the beach, talking about like he explains the whole case to her off camera.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, just like don't think about it and it'll come to you. Just distract yourself with something else and then you have a brainwave. And he's like, that's dumb. I don't believe it. But yeah, and then they have a big old kiss.
Yeah.
And we get like right as we get into the like little outro bit of money. So yeah,
Hooch has taught him to love.
Yeah, Hooch taught him how to love. There you go, Hooch and Hitch.
Oh, spin-off.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Go fire Josh from Drake and Josh. We found Will Smith's replacing him.
Yes, we've got a new spin-off show, Disney Plus. Look out.
Hooch and Hitch.
Oh God, amazing. Yeah. They have all the sex off camera, thankfully, and then this is like another really weird interaction where they're just like drinking orange juice from the carton and like making an omelet, but like Turner's like mansplaining how to make an omelet and like not letting her do anything. It's really weird. This whole interaction kind of sucks. I feel like they're a terrible couple, but I don't know. I didn't enjoy it at all. But anyway, because he wasn't thinking about the case at all, he has a sudden brainwave and figures it all out. He's like, oh shit, they weren't smuggling things into the place, they were smuggling things out of the place. That's why there was nothing there when we went to visit. Oh my God. And so yeah, they go on back down there. He's getting ready to go. He's like yelling at Hooch. He's like, we're gonna get out of here, Hooch. And then yeah, he like very panically like plans another date as he's running out the door. But yeah, it's weird.
Just leaves her to clean up the rest of the omelet, I guess.
I guess so, yeah. I don't know. Yeah. In his own house, whatever.
Yeah, she was clearly trying to get more kisses as well.
Yeah. But he's only got time for Hooch.
Yeah.
But yeah, they go and have a stakeout at the fishmongers at the old seafood plant. And this is another really long sequence of the stakeout where we're just getting like a lot of interactions. I think this is all improv from Tom Hanks here interacting with this dog. I feel like they've shot like an hour or two of footage of this, of just him and this dog sitting in a car for ages, and they've filmed everything that they've done, all the conversations that Tom Hanks has had with this dog. He does a lot of weird shit. He eats tries a dog biscuit, like he's going full Shaggy, having a Scooby snack. Very weird. I've never eaten a dog biscuit. I feel like, maybe I shouldn't tell the story on here. Maybe, I don't know, I might get in trouble. But once my grandmother was like, it was Christmas time, and we were all around there for Christmas, and she was like, oh, I found this beef jerky on the countertop. It was really good, and was talking to my aunt about it, and like she was like, "Oh yeah." And then later on, my aunt pulls me aside and says, "That was for the dog. That was the dog's Christmas present, and Grandma ate all of it." Like, there you go. Yeah. So apparently, dog food okay for people.
Yeah, she had a lot more energy.
Yeah,
like hair was way shinier,
stronger bones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could really. She's a real Tux Wonder dog. Yeah. Anyway, Hopefully I don't
We
get in
could
trouble
probably
for that
pitch
story.
Tuck's Wonder Nanas to like
Oh.
TVNZ and probably get it made.
Yeah, that'd be great. They're just all trying to like run up a hill and chase a sheep into a pen.
Yeah.
But it's just nanas and gumboots. It's pretty funny.
The best part would be, like, say TVNZ buy it, and they're like, yeah, we're going to do Wonder Nanas. And we're like, no, you need Tux to sponsor it or we're walking.
Well, we are out.
Yeah.
They're just selling their delicious nana treats. They're branching out into
we're getting nothing out of this. We're a dog food company.
Yeah, dogs aren't buying. Dogs don't got no money.
Yeah.
All right? We need to get the nanas. They've got money.
It's true.
There you go.
And they love to spend it on buying Beckies.
Yeah, it's so true. That's just perfect, right? Like that's just good business sense, Tux. Tux Nana Treats. There you go. But yeah. There's a lot of just weird stuff where he's talking about like old TV shows that of course doesn't get like Hooch don't give a fuck about that. He never watched TV in his life. He talks about like wanting to be a pilot. It's like a lot of random stuff that's like just here for filler, really. But it's really long, and yeah, it makes me want to see the deleted scenes because I feel like there's like a whole extra DVD of this.
Oh yeah, I want the podcast.
Yeah, just the one-sided Tom Hanks podcast.
Yeah,
it's like if like Garfield were a podcast. Where it's just John alone talking to himself. Man, none of the jokes land. God, it's like when I send you my audio for the podcast and it's just me talking to silence.
Oh yeah, I told you I accidentally then forwarded that to a coworker who started listening to it to like spite me.
It's just me just chatting to them.
Yeah,
that's great. Hey, if you're listening to just me alone right now, Gareth's coworker, shout outs to you.
Yeah. He's getting that exclusive feed. He couldn't help but ask for more episodes.
Just James only.
Yeah. Finally, all the fat's trimmed off this podcast.
Oh no. Oh, it would be bleak. I need you, Gareth. You're my rock. Oh. You're my life preserver in this rocky ocean. All right, Rocky Ocean.
You're the Turner and the Hooch to my Turner and Hooch.
Nice. Thank you very much. Anyway, it's just a really long, weird sequence. And next morning, David rocks up. Our friend, he's got the something for Turner. They're gonna do a bit of a rogue investigation. He's got the bag of money from the crime scene, the evidence from earlier, and gives it to him, and like it gives Hooch a big old sniff to look for the money in the place, and Hooch doesn't find that, but he does find the Glad bags, the same bag that the money was in. And I really loved when they're walking away because they get in trouble for this because it's a massive health violation having a dog in a fish factory. They like walk away. I love them discussing. They're like, oh, we're gonna have to figure out how common these bags are. Like that's their next step in their police investigation. Thankfully, the movie doesn't go there, but it would be hilarious. But anyway, they've got the next plan. They've got a plan to crack the case. They're going to go and find this guy where he's staying in the motel. So Turner rocks up to the hotel with Hooch in the car and dings the bell at the desk. And there's a very rude man who's just not helping him and doesn't come up until he's shows him his badge. Yeah. Turner goes like fucking more insane here and just points his gun at the guy and is like threatens him, and then pops a shot off into the wall at the man's feet. Like, what the fuck? That's not what a police officer does. I guess you're unemployed right now, but damn, I don't think you get fired after doing shit like that.
Right?
Anyway, he's asking after Stabby McGee, and who should show up behind him but Stabby McGee. He's got not his classic knife, but a pistol up to the back of Hooch's head. Not Hooch's head, Turner's head. We went if Hooch was in the scene. Just popping off shots. I don't know. But yeah, Hooch is like barking from his window, and Turner he like ushers Turner into a car, and he's going to get him to drive him somewhere. And Turner always puts his seatbelt on, as he's a good, meticulous boy, and he puts his glasses on to drive. And then he's like, all right, off you go, drive this way. And then Turner's like, nah, fuck you. And he just races, drives the car straight into a wall, a like low-lying cover wall from Call of Duty. and the Stabby McGee goes flying through the windscreen because, of course, he's a bad guy and doesn't put his seatbelt on. And Hooch takes this opportunity to leap free, do his move of jumping straight through a window, and leaps into and bites down on the bad guy's neck, as he did before. And there's this weird like interrogation sequence where like he's like, man, it's like good cop, bad bad dog. But like Hooch is like, he's like, my partner's crazy. He'll just bite your neck clean off. Like literally, I can't stop him. You got to tell me. You got to blink and tell me who's involved here. Anyway, he gets the info out of him. He finds out that the factory owner is in on it, and gets the info that he needs, ties him up, and they go on down. Makes a call to his police chief, and they're gonna raid the place. Yeah, as Eclipse launches in, we go into the factory at night. It's the raid, and the chief rocks up. He's brought a fucking shotgun. Hell yeah. He's here, and they go in there, and they're wandering around. There's no one around, and he's like, "What the fuck?" Well, Turner puts it together. He's like, "Oh, you've tipped them off. They're all gone." And so they've killed. It's like a killing floor here, and the chief is gonna kill him. The chief was in on it from the beginning, and Turner like turns around and like flips the shotgun out of his hand and points it at the chief, and is like saying, "You're in on this," and shoots one of the ice blocks with the shotgun, revealing the like hidden money bags inside. Now the thing about ice, Gareth, is that it's clear. It's see-through.
Yeah, even like when it's not see-through, it's still pretty see-through.
Yeah,
like
I feel like
you're gonna see money, the opposite of ice.
Yeah, the Pink Floyd weren't singing about ice, so I don't have a lot of context. But I feel like you're gonna see some money inside of a giant ice block. I feel like if Money had a few more verses, Pink Floyd would have covered this in their syllabus.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It seems like you'd be able to notice large wads of cash in large ice blocks, no matter how big the ice block is. But you're like, oh, there's something in that ice. Maybe I should take a look in my police investigation.
Yeah.
But anyway, he shoots it and reveals the money inside. This money was not really damaged by this shotgun blast as well, which is pretty wild. But the lights get taken out here somehow. I think Hooch is like on the roof or something and takes the lights out. Or maybe no, it's the other bad guy. Sorry, the factory owner is also here, and in the darkness, it's now 2 against 1. Where Turner is being hunted by these other 2 guys who both have guns. And he's got a shotgun in the dark. But little do they know, Turner, it's not 2v1, because Turner's got a Pooch on his side who's up in the rafters. Little Batman Hooch up there, lurking away.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, as we get into playthrough 3, Hooch is just walking around along the beams trying to, like, stealth out these guys, causing ruckus, causing like sounds to distract them. And he jumps down on a guy and like bites at him, but as he's jumping he gets shot in the neck by the pistol. So he's bitten the factory owner guy and he's down, and then the chief grabs the shotgun and turns it on Turner here. And he's got him
turned on Turner.
He's got him dead to rights with the shotgun here, and he's telling him all the story about how he's got him. What he's gonna say to the police and all this stuff and the investigation, and that he's gonna get away. And he's leaving the factory owner for dead here, which is pretty fucked up because he's still alive at this moment, hearing this whole story. But he's like, we found him dead, and like all this stuff. He's like, covering all the bases. And Hooch, meanwhile, is like inching along the floor after being shot in the neck, like using his final bit of strength to go there and save Turner. And Turner refuses to go along with the plan and is about to get shot in the head with the shotgun. And Hooch bites down on the police chief's leg. And right as we get raced towards an early grave.
Yes.
Man, damn. Gets him, knocks him out of the fight, and yeah, the guy gets shot by his own shotgun. And that's how he dies. Amazing. From here, it's very somber. As Turner is just wordlessly carrying Hooch into the veterinary clinic. And she doesn't say anything either. Dr. Emily doesn't say anything. And they're just like trying to operate and save Hooch's life. He's like bleeding out. There's just blood coming out of Hooch's neck. He's holding up a wee towel there. And it's very, very upsetting. Turner is saying that it's all going to be all right. We're going to get home and he'll be okay. And On the Run is playing for us. And it's very tense. Very tense. And yeah, Hooch shuts his eyes and he dies.
Right?
It's very sad. I didn't expect this. I didn't know that he was gonna die. And Turner, gets up and starts like crying because he's lost his friend and his partner who helped him and saved his life like seconds ago. Oh my god! And yeah, we get the crash sound and On the Run as we cut back to Hooch just lying dead on the operating table.
Yeah, saddest crash.
It's tragic. Oh my god. And yeah, we like get some like other like establishing shots showing that time has passed as all the as all the clocks are rolling in 4 times, so that's okay. And we see that now Turner is the police chief. He's taken over that role now that the police chief has been shot by his own shotgun. And yeah, we've got the chief key detective here and David, who has solved the case of the missing bikes. There's just 1,000 bikes stashed in a wee garage, and he's done all right. But they get a call.
Could have done a whole movie about that.
Far out, yeah. Where's all these bikes going? There's the bicycle thief. And yeah, he gets a call on the radio about a domestic case happening at his house, like loud noises or whatever. And so he goes home to deal with that. We cut to the veterinary clinic, and Dr. Emily is here dealing with a whole bunch of supposedly puppies. She calls them puppies, but these are like fully grown dogs. I don't know. They seem huge.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, we will find out why. But yeah, we go. He goes upstairs, and the house has been destroyed. The vet clinic has been all wrecked, and of course it's young pup Hooch, a new Hooch 2, up here, baby Hooch, Hooch's progeny, presumably. I too was expecting Hooch to make it being a fake out. I thought there would be.
Yeah.
I thought he would come back and just be like, oh, he was fine. He lived. He's got a little gunshot wound on his chest, a little bandage or something. Yeah. No, he for real dies. It's rough. I think that's potentially why this movie's not great, obviously, but it's not awful, and it's rated really poorly online. I think because the dog dies, people are like, fuck this movie. Like, you made me feel sadness in my heart. I'ma rate you bad. That's like what they're all about, I think. But anyway.
Yeah, apparently they shot 2 endings. One where Hooch lived and one where Hooch died. And then they did some like full-on like therapy kind of level breakthroughs with the audience, where they were like, the audience were... Well, I'll try to find the exact quote, but it was like the audience were, they were happy when the dog was alive. And they were somewhat happy when there was a cute puppy at the end.
Wow.
But they felt true change when they saw it was a puppy. And it was like, you got all that from the test audience?
Wow, yeah. That's like quite the review. For a test audience for Turner and Hooch to be saying. We're really trying to make a statement with this dog movie, all right? With this dog detective movie. We really want to delve deep into the psyche of man, all right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
It's a Rorschach test.
Yeah. Oh, man. But yeah, that's basically the film. We get the vocals of Time kicking in perfectly over the credits as we get in there. And yeah, like...
The credits are entirely just more shots of Hooch.
Yeah, it's just
not even.
It's the greatest hits of Hooch. We see like all the takes of him jumping through the window first, which is my favorite shit ever. I could watch that of Hooch. I could watch shots of Hooch jumping through a window. I think forever. Like, it's great. He does it a lot of times. But yeah, it's all the like his greatest jests and japes throughout the film. I guess hammering home how tragic his death is.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, we get Time playing that over the credits, and that's it for us. What did you think, and how did it sink?
I'm gonna have to say we didn't have a lot of gold except for when Tom Hanks woke up to the clocks.
Yeah, that's true. Definitely.
Yeah.
Some small sinks sprinkled in, but like that was the big one.
Yeah. And it reminded me of, obviously, another film where a 80s comedy star deals with a mammal, and that was Groundhog Day.
Yes.
And Groundhog Day, obviously, though, when he woke up to the clocks, it was the big day, the day that he's going to repeat forever. So this has to pale in that. So I'll slip this in at a 3. We gave that a 4. Let's give this a 3.8.
Yeah, there we go. 3.8 on the man and animal scale, and also our graph.
A 3.8 in human sinks is, a 21 in dog sinks.
Damn, doing all right, Hooch. Hell yeah. That's a quality dog sink right there.
Yeah. Although Independence Day gets 210 dog sinks.
Man, that's a tall graph.
Yeah, my math was way off, by the way.
That's fine.
It should have been 70.
We'll let the dogs do the math.
Yeah.
As always on the show. All right, sweet. There we go. That's another one in the can, as they say. What do we got? We got more coming up. More sweet sync knowledge. What's happening?
Well, it's our big episode 60 next week. So, yeah, I think it's about time we got to do more of our research, James. We know Pink Floyd, but we don't know where they're coming from, They're a band, they rock it. This band rocks it real hard. They rock it left to right, up to down. So I think we need to learn how they rock it. So let's we're going on a field trip, James. You and I are going to go on a trip to the moon in A Trip to the Moon 1902.
Whoa, okay.
Le Voyage dans la Lune.
Oh. Parlez-vous français? No.
No. This film is also silent.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Okay, well, that works.
Yeah.
First silent film on the pod, other than, I guess, like A Quiet Place, kind of, but no. First properly silent film. Sweet.
Yeah.
All right. So,
should be good. It should teach us about cinema and the moon.
Yeah, finally. Finally on this fucking show. We get to the core concepts. We're delving. All right. Cool. That's happening next week. Look forward to it, listeners. Have we got plugs? What are we plugging?
No, I've got nothing to plug. If you see a real ugly dog, or if you see any dog in the street, try to help it and you'll get a good story.
Yeah. You could tell us your dog stories where a dog evades death.
Yeah.
All right.
None of the other kind of story, please.
No, please, none of those bad other stories.
Yeah, like the movie we just watched.
Yeah. No Turner and Hooches in the comments, please. But,
no.
But yeah, definitely drop your cool dog story in there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And yeah, you can send those cool dog stories to syncfloydpod@gmail.com.
Yeah.
No one emailed us when we begged for emails in that previous episode.
Oh, well, never mind.
But that's okay.
Yep.
And no one emailed us to tell us our views on Dumbo were wrong, so I was happy about that.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But there's still time. And yeah, Sync Floyd Pod on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah.
And I've been Little Gareth Blackcliff.
I've been Big Dog, Woof Woof, James Barron.
Very nice. And we'll see you on the dark side of the moon.
On the dark side of the moon. Ow!
Yes. I was hoping for a howl.